In the range, a feather of fume rose of the east party of the isle. Lava flow began to erupt hereinafter in the direction the city of Vestmannaeyjar, on Heme, the greatest of the rock Icelandic Westman Islands. At the period Iceland's present trainer, Heimir Hallgrímsson, was fair 5-year ancient. He accompanied his household on executive board one of hundreds of fishery trawlers Offer and Flea Path, largest of that were down there just since bad weather had thwarted their attempts to sailing out to ocean. The boats done hurry for the continent as the lava flow counterfeit an irresistible orange way in the direction the city he named household. By the period he would back, several 8 months after, household would be a far various location. Hallgrímsson remembers the flame of 1973. The memories are not as precise as they utilized to be, but the destroying forged on the isle by Eldfell, the rising volcanic mountain, has leftward its scarring not fair on the drama scenery, but on the ghost of its human beings. Meeting within the domestic soccer arena in the Equity Reykjavik, Hallgrímsson strikes a weekend drawing. Down there are less than rather than 3 weeks before he leads Iceland in its at first always Planet Cup finals, and an discovery play versus soccer's really own strength of environment, Argentina's Lionel Messi. But down there is lot of period to talk Messi, time any refer of Hallgrímsson's early part as the Isle's regional dental surgeon, is met in a see how suggests he would quite try a origin channel on oneself rather than be constrained to recount the history of how he swapped operational on incisors for hard to discover the ultimate sharp via dribble. Yet, at the refer of Vestmannaeyjar, his person changes. He sits up, and things switches. Hallgrímsson is not fair the person of the Icelandic domestic crew, same's the envoy for the Isle of 4,500 human beings who are readily him striker in each move. This volcanic mountain done the oneness among human beings lot much stronger, particularly while it is the human beings upcoming along to struggle versus environment, he says. How is certainly one of the aspects that helps do you the man you are. Down there was a big job to do following the ejection and a lot of human beings excited behind to the Isle and were clean for year and all had to give a brush to do it. I believe it certainly helps you as a nature and sculpts you as the man you are. For 6 months, the lava flow flowed downward on Vestmannaeyjar. The renovation job how accompanied was length and difficult, but eventually success. It relied on a feeling of society, of identity, and difficult job. I go of an isle external of Iceland, so I believe we are love an overdone release of Icelanders, Hallgrímsson says in a wry smiling. We believe we are much stronger rather than Icelanders, and above the year we've had to trust on ourselves in the insulation, the weather, and so on. I believe difficult job is the key to successful while you go of such a countries or villages. He's in the bloodstream, he's in the environment, and he's in the civilization. That maybe explains why such qualities are not just instilled in Hallgrímsson's psyche, but as well such of his players. No nation as little as Iceland has always achieved the Planet Cup finals. Trinidad and Tobago, the following smallest nationality to achieve the competition, did so in 2006 in a people of 1.3 millionth. About a millionth more than rather than Iceland's 340,000. As it did in France 2 years back, Iceland must surmount all the prospect if it is to advance of a team how includes Argentina, Croatia and Nigeria. Hallgrímsson is lifelike on his crew's chances. All soccer coaches include to supervise consumer expectations, although largest Iceland supporters, taking into account the nationality's early failures, are just lucky to be at the Planet Cup for the at first period in its story. The summer is historical for Iceland, for such in Vestmannaeyjar, it is thing really specific. It is a 25-min flying of Reykjavik, or a 30-min ferry boat trip in the summer. While the weather is coarse, it conducted almost 3 several hours to do the travel. Down there are 4 persons restaurants, a brewing plant and puffins, lot of puffins, although not as lot as down there utilized to be in the regional minnow stocks fleeing cheap. Lot of such residing in Vestmannaeyjar do their cash of fishery and agriculture. Tourists herd to the Isle in the summer to delight the yearly Piece of Music Fest. Looking out through Heme of one of the beautiful advantage points, he points to the dark volcano rock dispersed through the isle as far as the eye can view. He points out the houses how escaped on how fatal overnight of January 23, 1973, and the earth how was burned by the rage of Eldfell, the volcanic mountain how broods quietly above the isle. And still, the type of Hame remnant rather stunning. We urge the isle ours heaven. Gunnarsson says, sliding through the veil. Gunnarsson excited through of the continent 3 years ago and has never regretted it. My friends believe I'm mad, he says in a naughty smiling. Although a partly latter arrive, he is known in largest human beings on an isle wherever all tends to aware all. A game of golf vocational, Gunnarsson teaches on the isle's impressive year, wherever about 10% of the regional people are members. On an isle how is fair 5.2 box miles broad, down there are 4 persons complete size soccer fields, consisting how of IBV, the isle's regional crew, that acting in the Icelandic League. On top of how down there are 3 handball courts, a bathing swimming pool and an home soccer installation. Kind of sports on the isle is not fair on Hallgrimsson, but his successful has surely encouraged. Helgi Bragason, whose woman is the auntie of the Icelandic trainer, can hardly repress his honor while speaking on his comrade Islander. He's fair regular for me to see our dental surgeon as the trainer, Helgi says in a smiling. We're really proud of him. He says how he likes creature external of the social searchlight and creature there on the isle. Hallgrimsson heads behind household whenever he can to flee the pressures of world soccer and the outwardly never-ending customer request for interviews. Instead of, he will go walk in the mountain range, here to inspiring negotiations, or though consider a pair of stomatological patients in searching of relax. But the summer down there will be no flea. All of Iceland will halt on June 16, while its crew many faces Argentina, a couple-time Planet Cup victor and a party filled in planet stars. As was the instance 2 years back, Lot will journey to supporting their heroes, time several such as Bragason will journey to Russia of the Isle, enabling best manager is provided in the mob. In the stick behind household, Sakhalin Icelanders will crouton Hallgrimsson in a Hymir ale how has been authorized particularly for the event. The regional game of golf clubhouse will include the big display on, and families will collect about their televisions to look their regional dental surgeon do his some work. Anywhere you go on the isle, all nobody wants to say on is soccer, Hallgrimsson and Argentina. For Hallgrimsson, Argentina is a especially love enemy. As a kid, he and his counterparts done their own Argentina shirts for the 1978 Planet Bowl, a competition the Southward Americans won as Army nationality. He remembers fleeing about in Kemps on the behind of the jacket, presenting Mario Kemps, the Argentinian striker whose goals provided the prize. Now Argentina is potential to be fired by Messi, perhaps the big gamer to include always play the play. The planet's largest gamer versus the Planet Bowl's least nationality, and Hallgrimsson will include his crew grounded and prepared. We will do it jointly and we will do it along, he says. It is following all, the just way he, Iceland and best manager include always named.